Yes, I do think the carbon tax is worth it because we are already seeing the detrimental effects of climate change, and if we want to mitigate those effects in the future, the carbon tax certainly is worth it, I think.
No, I don't think so because it's gonna worsen the inflation crisis.
As you could see, opinions on the carbon tax vary at NT, but many don't fully understand it. In this video, we'll break it down in simple economic terms.
Hello and welcome to tonight's debate where we're tackling one of the hottest issues around carbon taxes. In this corner we have Bob, a staunch advocate for carbon taxes. He's convinced it's the kick in the trousers we need to combat climate change. That's right, I'm here to make the case for a cleaner, greener future. And in the opposite corner we have Sophia, who believes carbon taxes are about as welcome as a hole in a hot air balloon. She's here to argue that there are better, less economically painful ways to deal with our environmental woes.
You bet I am. We need practical solutions, not just more taxes.
I'm your moderator, here to ensure this remains a civilized discussion, or at least as civilized as things get when the fate of the planet is at stake. Let's get this carbon-fueled showdown started. Alright folks, let's be real, we've been treating our atmosphere like an industrial chimney for far too long. It's time to pay the piper, and a carbon tax is how we do it. Think of it like this, we slap a tax on cigarettes to discourage smoking, right? Same principle here. We make polluting more expensive and voila! Companies will scramble to clean up their act faster than a politician during an ethics scandal. Plus, the beauty of a carbon tax is that it generates revenue. We can pump that money back into green technologies, renewable energy, you name it. It's like hitting two birds with one eco-friendly stone. We fight climate change and boost the economy at the same time. And let's not forget about the rebates. To ensure the carbon tax doesn't disproportionately burden everyday folks, we can issue rebates, particularly to low-income households. This way we can make the transition to a greener future fair and equitable for everyone. Remember, this isn't about punishing anyone, it's about saving our planet.
Hold your horses, Bob. A carbon tax sounds great in theory, but in reality, it's about as effective as a screen door on a submarine. You want to talk about hurting everyday people? This tax will hit everyone's wallets, sending the cost of everything from petrol to groceries skyrocketing. And who will feel the pinch the most? Low-income families, the elderly, the very people who can least afford it. Sure, you talk about rebates, but that's just government bureaucracy at its finest. Is that money really going to reach the people who need it most? I wouldn't bet my last quid on it. And what about jobs? We're talking about industries that rely on fossil fuels. Those jobs will vanish faster than a politician's promise during an election year. We need to think about practical solutions, not just feel-good measures that punish the working class.
Now folks, before we all storm out of here more divided than ever, let's remember there are other ways to skin this proverbial cat. Take the EU's emissions trading system, for example. It's like a cap-and-trade system where companies buy and sell permits for their emissions. It incentivizes reducing emissions without directly taxing everyday folks. Or how about California's energy efficiency plan? They've managed to reduce energy consumption per capita while keeping their economy humming. We need to be smarter, not just heavier-handed. Let's incentivize innovation, not punish those who can least afford it. So there you have it. Bob, our carbon tax crusader, believes it's the necessary jolt to steer us towards a greener future. Sophia, our tax-wary realist, thinks it's a blunt instrument that will cause more harm than good. The debate rages on, folks, and it's up to each of us to decide what we believe is the best path forward. Just remember, whatever side you're on, we're all in this together. And unless we figure out a way to live on Mars, we only have one planet, so we better start treating it with the respect it deserves.